What happened was we used to have this man who was a publicist. He'd come down every once in a while when something was happening at Grumman. So they had made that canoe while the war was on. There was an empty hangar. I've read this. We didn't know it at the time. And they had designed this aluminum canoe, which was very interesting because it was so light. And canoes are kind of heavy, I guess, regular canoes. So when the war was over, out comes this canoe. So they were right on top of it. You know, they could use all the materials that they had for airplanes. So this publicist walked in the office that I worked in, and he said, "Well, get her." So they had me show how light this canoe was. So we went out to Belmont Park. I was just doing what I was told. I went out to Belmont Park, and I'm in a dress and these funny little shoes, and they said, "Well, just hold the canoe up like this, because it only weighed 46 pounds. So I was holding up this canoe with two guys on each end of it, of course, because I couldn't do that by myself. And then they walked away, and they snapped the picture before I dropped it on the ground, and that picture was everywhere. The picture was in Abercrombie and Fitch's window. They were selling them. L.L. Bean was the big place that sold them. Recently, recently. That picture has shown up, and funny, it showed up in an ad for, L.L. Bean had an ad for an anniversary of some kind that they were having, and my son came in, and he said, "Mom, your picture's on the TV." Well, they just had a little picture, they were showing little pictures of this and that about L.L. Bean. Well, then L.L. Bean stopped even using, they don't even sell the canoe anymore. So then the next thing I know, my other son called me up and he said, "Mom, I just saw your picture in the catalog and it's on a shirt. I should have brought the shirt." So here is this dopey picture in this color that I can't wear, a tan, and a black image of me holding this canoe up. So everybody said, "Oh, that's terrible. They're not allowed to do that. I mean, that's a shirt. That has nothing to do with blah, 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 blah." So finally we wrote, a friend of mine and wrote a letter to them. Nothing, didn't hear from them. So we gave them 3 months to answer. They didn't answer anything. So then we wrote a stronger letter about, you really shouldn't have been doing this. And we sent it to the president, because my father always said, if you want to get something accomplished,